All right, we're diving right into something deeply personal today. It's a path that's sometimes painful and honestly almost always completely misunderstood. We're talking about the reality of walking your path alone. If you've ever felt like you're on a totally solo mission, whether that's in your career, your personal life, or just chasing your biggest goals, you're absolutely going to want to stick around for this one.
So have you ever felt like you're literally the only person on your team? Let's kick this off with a hard truth from our source material. Fighting a massive uphill battle while everyone else has just vanished, it creates this terrifying silence for most people. I mean, think about it. As humans, we're hardwired to seek safety in numbers. So when you look around and see zero backup, that sudden quiet, it is deafening. It triggers this deep-seated panic that you must be doing something horribly wrong.
And that brings us right to our first major hurdle, the fear of silence, and what it really means to face that lonely road to success.
Which inevitably leads to the next step, leaving the pack behind and actually breaking away from that herd mentality.
You know, society conditions us from day one to seek safety in the middle of the flock. We're told there's comfort in the crowd, right? But here's the thing, that safety is a massive trap. It actively prevents you from finding out who you really are. While the herd is out there desperately looking for attention and just waiting around for praise, essentially relying on someone else to validate their existence, the people who separate themselves are doing something totally different. They're discovering their true capabilities. They aren't waiting for permission. They are out there building the exact things the crowd never will.
Because ultimately, those who fly alone end up with the strongest wings. It's kind of like simple physics, honestly. You have to push against the air yourself. True capability requires you to follow your own path, without the slipstream of the crowd doing all the heavy lifting for you. You just can't discover your own unique potential if you're constantly mirroring everybody else.
Now, obviously, we can't just gloss over the friction here. The reality of taking this solitary path is incredibly heavy. It genuinely hurts when nobody believes in you. The emotional weight of it is undeniable, and yeah, most days it just feels like you don't fit in anywhere. And you know what? It is so crucial to validate that feeling. It's a completely normal part of the separation process. Reaching that next level of success requires a very specific kind of endurance that, frankly, most people are just never taught to cultivate.
But here is the absolute game changer, the crucial mental shift. You do not need them to believe in you as long as you believe in you. This is exactly where the fundamental transformation happens. You suddenly realize their support is completely irrelevant once you finally figure out how to have your own back. That desperate need for a round of applause, it just completely vanishes.
So let's talk about what happens next, forging inner strength, and the whole internal transformation of the solitary path.
There's a great saying for this. When you learn to fight alone, you become strong alone. Going it alone isn't just about throwing on a tough face or faking it till you make it. It is the literal crucible that creates real, authentic power. You are out there forging the metal of your own character.
Think about inner strength as a trait that is strictly forged in struggle. Because this kind of strength was built in the extreme, intense heat of solitary struggle, instead of just being handed to you on a silver platter, it becomes absolutely, completely unbreakable. You didn't borrow it from a friend, you didn't get it from a mentor, so guess what? No one can ever take it away from you.
It's honestly a true internal hero's journey. First, you've got to face the isolation head-on, no hiding from it. Then you step deep into the darkness. And I don't mean a literal dark room, but that heavy, psychological period of self-doubt and total solitude. But by navigating that specific darkness, you eventually emerge with a level of depth and clarity that the people who stayed safe and cozy in the pack are just never going to understand.
And here is a super fascinating paradox about all this isolation. Out of that darkness comes a totally unexpected outcome. You actually start to appreciate other people more. You find this new, genuine compassion that you probably never even knew you had. Fighting alone doesn't actually make you bitter. When you do it right, it makes you deeply appreciate the genuine connections you do manage to make along the way.
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the ultimate reward of speaking your truth and earning self-respect. It all boils down to this one simple directive. Stop pretending to be someone else and start speaking your truth. When you finally drop the mask and just fully embrace your authentic self, a really funny thing happens. People actually start to respect you. For real. Authenticity is like an absolute magnet for genuine respect.
Because let's expose the hidden reality of that crowd you left behind. It is incredibly rare to see someone with the actual guts to follow their heart. Deep down, most people wish they could do exactly what you're doing. They're watching you, and your solitary path is actually inspiring them.
even if they never, ever admit it out loud. So, be proud of who you are becoming. If you're right in the thick of this struggle today, the message is crystal clear. Be incredibly proud that you didn't give up and take the easy way out. That awful discomfort you're feeling right now, that is literally the feeling of growth.
To put it perfectly, when you stay true to yourself, you earn the kind of self-respect that no one can ever take away from you. That unbreakable self-respect is the ultimate prize for having the guts to show everyone else the way. It is the rock-solid foundation of a life that is truly lived on your own terms.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. What is one thing you are proud of overcoming alone? Just take a quick second to look closely at your own inner strength and remember a time when you had to be your one and only cheerleader. I really invite you to keep this conversation going in your own life as you continue on your path. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep building that unbreakable strength and keep flying.